It's Sunday, November 22, 2020. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. It is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. There's a lot going on in the world of entertainment and in the world in general and in this country. Hopefully everyone has a safe, happy Thanksgiving, maybe over Zoom with your relatives and family members. Maybe you'll be going to the movies to see the new Croods film starting Wednesday. We will get into all that here. Also, the Minions have a brand new holiday special Friday night on NBC. Friday, a big night for animated holiday specials. Thursday actually kicks it off. We'll get into all of that here on LCJ Live. As always, send in your questions, your comments. A slow weekend at the box office, with just $1.2 million for Freaky leading the way. Look, we knew that horror movies, they always have this drop. This is a big drop, 66%, two-thirds of the money went away for Freaky. $733,000 for The War with Grandpa. It's still doing well. Families are going to The War with Grandpa. Let Him Go, $710,000. As I wrote the other day on Twitter, I think the majority of the people who wanted to see Let Him Go, the older moviegoers, maybe even older moviegoer couples, fans of Kevin Costner of Yellowstone and all his movies and Diane Lane, they said week one, let's go to Let Him Go, because it opened well. Then it dropped about 56%, and then it dropped a big amount again this weekend to under $710,000 for the third weekend. Not strong. Again, huge start in terms of what's going on now for Let Him Go, but everybody wanted to go to it out of the gate. $550,000 for Come Play, $461,000 for the Santa Claus re-release. Disney not comfortable putting out a lot of their new movies in theaters. A couple through Fox, like New Mutants and The Empty Man, but none of the big ones. We don't have Mulan, we don't have Soul coming out in theaters, and several others. But they're perfectly comfortable putting out all these re-releases, and their ninth re-release in as many weeks as the Santa Claus, $461,000. The only couple of movies out of these re-releases that have really done well were Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas. A couple of the others made a little noise, but some of them on the lower end of all this, and Santa Claus kind of falls in the middle. New comedy, Buddy Games, with Josh Duhamel, just $140,000. Vanguard, the new Jackie Chan movie, only $400,000. The Last Vermeer, a Guy Pearce drama, Sony's putting out just $225,000 this weekend. Near me, there are only 2 movie theaters open, with a total of 5 screens available. One is the iconic Scotia Cinema, which currently has Let Him Go until Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it will have The Croods: A New Age. The other is the Madison Theater, which has 4 screens. One of them had Buddy Games, as well as Let Him Go, Freaky, and the re-release of Jurassic Park. They're also going to have The Croods starting Wednesday. But the big question is, will movie theaters be open by Wednesday to show The Croods? If Universal had decided, when a month and a half ago Disney Pixar said, we're taking Soul away from November 20 and we're moving it to Disney Plus for Christmas Day, DreamWorks and Universal should have said, let's move up The Croods 5 days to November 20. They would have had a big weekend, I think, if they had opened on Friday. Instead, they're waiting until Wednesday, and more movie theaters are probably going to close by then in some parts of the country, and families may not go right away or at all to see The Croods: A New Age in theaters. Universal has reportedly spent $19 million on marketing, which is a lot in this day and age. The original Croods aired last night on NBC to about 2 million viewers, which is right in line with what NBC does with their movies if they air them on a Saturday night. They aired it to get families ready, but really, that shouldn't have happened. The Croods should have opened last Friday. I have seen The Croods: A New Age. I actually watched it on Halloween. The reviews for it will start coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll also have my review of Black Beauty, the new Disney Plus version of it with Mackenzie Foy and Kate Winslet, which comes out on Friday. Look for my rapid review of Black Beauty tomorrow. But the Croods reviews will also be coming out. I talked with Joel Crawford, the director. New LCJ Q&A podcast episode. You can check that out at lcj.podbean.com. I wish them all the best. I really do, in terms of how much money this movie will make starting Wednesday. Again, I truly believe it was a mistake that they are saving it until Wednesday, but what can you do at this point? We'll see how many theaters are open. We'll see if the 2 theaters around here are open and how they do. Will families go in these uncertain times to see an animated movie? The War with Grandpa has done well, but it's a live-action family film, and also with older stars like Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Jane Seymour. It'll attract some older moviegoers like those who went to Let Him Go and Honest Thief with Liam Neeson, not just parents and kids. This is a big test because you're not going to see too many older moviegoers just go to the Croods. Unless you're a big animation fan. If you're a big animation fan, you're an older moviegoer, maybe you go see the Croods: A New Age, but the majority, probably 95% at least of the people who will want to see it, are families, are parents and kids. Maybe 20-somethings who saw the first one when it came out 7.5 years ago. Maybe as a date movie, they'll want to see the second one. But keep in mind, Universal will also be putting this out on VOD on Christmas Day, very quickly, a 30-day period. Maybe they felt, let's keep the exact 30-day period to then have it go on VOD on Christmas Day. But on Christmas Day now, you've got Soul on Disney Plus and Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max. Both great moves. I'm so glad that Soul is on Disney Plus and that Wonder Woman will be on HBO Max. It'll be great for people to watch those over Christmas, along with the Croods on VOD, but how much of that money is going to be in theaters? I did have the chance to see Disney Pixar's Soul earlier this past week, and I'm not going to share my thoughts on it too much because I may be saving that a little bit, but I did talk to Pete Docter recently and some of the other makers of Soul, and more Animation Scoop Q&As with the crew of Soul are coming very soon. I will say this, though, because I was able to see the first 35 minutes in advance. It is a different kind of Pixar movie. In some ways, it's similar to others, and in other ways, it is a different kind of Pixar film. One that you won't expect it to go in certain ways that it does. And that is all I will say, but we are still a month out from the release of Disney Pixar's Soul. As I mentioned, the Minions, another Universal creation. So Universal has DreamWorks now, and they've also got Illumination. And the Minions 2 movie, The Rise of Gru, was supposed to come out in July. They've moved it to next July. But we do have a brand new Minions holiday special this Friday night at 8:30 on NBC right after The Grinch. Also Friday night on CBS is Frosty and Frosty Returns from 8 to 9. And on ABC, Santa Claus is Coming to Town from 8 to 9. And then you can flip over to the CW from 9 to 10 to watch Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. This Thursday night actually kicks off all the animated holiday specials with Olaf's Frozen Adventure and Toy Story That Time Forgot from 8 to 9 p.m. this Thursday night, Thanksgiving, on ABC. On CBS on Saturday night, Robbie the Reindeer hour-long specials from 8 to 9, and then The Story of Santa Claus from 9 to 10. And then next Sunday night, 7 to 8 p.m., it's the 2 Prep and Landing specials on ABC. And then at 8:30 on Fox, after The Simpsons, is Ice Age, A Mammoth Christmas. So the holiday animated specials are underway. Rudolph's right around the corner, too, and more coming soon. So we'll get into more of those next Sunday on LCJ Live as well. But you've got a big Friday night of options. Do you want the Frosties? Do you want the Grinch and the Minions? Or do you want Santa Claus is Coming to Town? It is usually the case these days. And on Black Friday, the networks go head-to-head to head on the animated holiday specials, and we have that once again this week. Let's see here. Did any of you go see the Santa Claus re-release? I remember watching the Santa Claus for the first time. I saw parts of Santa Claus 2 before I saw Santa Claus 3, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I like the first Santa Claus. Always makes me think of Denny's, because they go to Denny's in the first Santa Claus, so that's fun. Interesting. So the first Santa Claus came out in 94, and then Santa Claus 2 didn't come out for 8 years. Now, Tim Allen was doing a bunch of stuff, obviously Home Improvement, the Toy Story films in between that period of time. But waiting 8 years for a sequel, even for a Disney movie, was a lot back then. It really was. They did wait 6 years to do 100, or at least 4 to 6 years to do 102 Dalmatians versus 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. A distance period of time. And then just 4 years, from 2002 to 2006, to decide to do the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, with Martin Short. I have watched the first episode of The Flight Attendant. This is a new mini-series on HBO Max, premiering this Thursday on Thanksgiving, with Kaylee Cuoco. I got my review of that at lights-camera-jackson.com. Again, you'll have my reviews of Black Beauty, also Princess of the Row, new drama coming to VOD on Friday, and Superintelligence. Now, Superintelligence is the new Melissa McCarthy movie directed by her husband, Ben Falcone. This film was originally supposed to come out last Christmas, but about a year and 2 months ago, last October-ish, Falcone and McCarthy decided, you know what, let's take this movie out of theaters and put it on HBO Max. Again, this was long before COVID, but they decided to do that. And then it got pushed back because of everything with COVID. When do we put this out on HBO Max? And now we have it. Superintelligence. I screened that. My review of that will be coming this week as well to the website. Watched Godmother last night. And about to watch some big, highly anticipated movies over the next couple days. I won't reveal them yet, but I'm probably going to be screening some big awards contenders over the next few days. Godmother last night, new Disney Plus movie, spin on the fairy godmother character, and a little Cinderella-esque in some ways, and Enchanted-esque in some ways, but I'll have my review of that next week. 200 movies I have now seen. 200 new movies I have seen in 2020, which crushes the record of 148 from a few years ago. And we're going to keep on going to the end of 2020. We've still got several weeks to go, several big movies on the way, including Wonder Woman and Let Them All Talk and The Prom, both of those with Meryl Streep, some big awards season movies. There's a lot still to look forward to before the end of the year. I watched Mank the other night. I'll have my rapid review of that in a week. That's coming to Netflix December 4. Netflix also has Ma Rainey's Black Bottom with Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis, the new George Clooney movie, The Midnight Sky. So there's a lot to look forward to. Coming up very soon, we've got Thanksgiving this week. Hey, isn't it great that the Charlie Brown specials are on PBS? I think it's fantastic. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern, is a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. December 13th, 7:30 Eastern, a Charlie Brown Christmas on PBS. Thank you, PBS, for picking these up. Seems like there have been fewer animated movies this year, says DJ Rachopo. I'm actually going to say no to that, and I'll tell you why. I thought I was finished watching animated movies when I watched Soul the other night. I had seen, I believe, 20 animated films released this year. But I may be watching another one or two before the year is done. Some smaller animated movies sneaking their way in before the clock strikes midnight on December 31st going into Jan 1. There's a couple more, like 100% Wolf and some others still on the way. But I was on the nominating committee for the Critics' Choice Awards animation categories, which were revealed the other day. And I'd seen about 20 animated films, some of them bigger than others. And Sony's Connected was supposed to be one of the big ones coming out this year, and that did not happen. I've been in touch with some of the Sony animation people, and they still are not revealing what the release date plan looks like for Connected. We may not see that movie for close to another year. That's my gut feeling at this point. I think they want it in theaters. I think they know it's pretty good to very good. They may wait till next summer or early fall to try to release Connected. I'm really thinking it's going to be a while. But we've had a bunch this year, whether it was early in the year with Shaun the Sheep, even some live-action animation like Sonic and One and Only Ivan. But we had Shaun the Sheep and Onward and Soul and the Croods and Scoob and Trolls and a lot of smaller ones like Morona's Fantastic Tale, Bombay Rose, which is coming to Netflix December 4. New Animation Scoop Q&A this week with the director Damien O'Connor of Angela's Christmas Wish, a new special coming soon. Also new Q&As coming soon for the makers of Stillwater, new Apple TV Plus animated series coming December 4. And Gitanjali Rao, the director of Bombay Rose. I chatted with her the other day. That Q&A is coming soon as well, along with some new animated shorts on Netflix. If Anything Happens, I Love You. It's an excellent dramatic animated short that's on there now. Canvas and Cops and Robbers are coming soon. I talked with those makers as well. So more animation scoop Q&As are on the way. Yeah, I think there's still been a lot of animated movies. Have they all gone to theaters? No. But there's still been a good amount, and we'll see what 2021 brings. Will Raya and the Last Dragon and Connected and some of the other... there's a couple Pixar ones and some more Disney ones and the DreamWorks films, Boss Baby 2, the new Spirit movie. Are supposed to be on the way. The Minions sequel is on the way. So, we'll see what 2021 brings. But it was a good year for animation in a lot of ways. Over the Moon on Netflix, Animal Crackers on Netflix. A lot of animated films have made an impact and will continue to over this awards season. So, the Critics' Choice animation categories are out. First year ever for voice performances. Wolf Walkers making a big impact. That's coming December 11 to Apple TV Plus. If you have not seen it yet, check it out. December 11 on Apple TV Plus. That probably get a nomination for an Academy Award. And the Golden Globes and the BAFTAs and the Annies, all those nominations for animation are still to come. The Independent Spirit Awards nominations, one of the first major ones for many of the categories, not that far away, just 2 months away from this coming Thursday, January 26th, those nominations come out. So even though everything's getting pushed back a little bit, not that far away, not that far away from getting into the awards season momentum. But of course, with the holidays here and the holiday season momentum, got to focus on that first at this point. What's up, 90s Slow Jams? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. It is the 7-year anniversary of Frozen today. And a lot of people thinking maybe Frozen is the next movie that Disney re-releases in theaters if theaters are open by next Friday because of this one-a-week thing going on. Maybe Frozen is next. I would not be surprised. What do they have left for the holiday movies? I think re-releasing the other Santa Claus movies at this point, probably not the smartest move. They've already done Nightmare Before Christmas, so you got to look at what holiday-themed Disney movies released theatrically. Can't do Noel, which was a Disney Plus exclusive. What other ones could they do? Frozen makes sense. And then I'll have to think about what some of the other Disney holiday movies could be that they could re-release over the next several weeks. Got the Eagles playing today. Hoping they win. I'm still in a football pool. If you're in a football pool, hope you're doing well. It's a tough week, though, to pick some teams. And we'll see how much money the Croods makes. Could be a decent 5-day, but what does a decent 5-day look like these days? We'll have to see. And we'll be back next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern to talk about the Croods box office, how many theaters open, how much money has it made, and we'll preview some of the other big releases coming over the next several weeks. As always, you can go to lights-camera-jackson.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews and Instagram at LightsCamJackson. Yesterday was the anniversary of the release of Bolt, and as I wrote on Instagram, when I went to see Bolt the first time. Disney had a nationwide Saturday night sneak preview for it the Saturday before its release, and so I went to that, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I went to see it again. And as I was in the lobby of the theater, I look over and I see this group of people surrounding this one person. And in the center of this group was a woman who looked very much like Susie Essman. And Susie Essman being the voice of Mittens, the cat, in Bolt. But I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is Susie Essman doing in Albany, New York? So I go over to the group. I still remember picturing this in my mind, doing this. I was so short compared to everybody else because this was 12 years ago. I go over and I ask her, "Are you Susie Essman?" And she says, "Yes." And so it turns out she had just married a guy who lived in the capital region near Albany. And so she was taking all her family members to go see Bolt. They had just seen the movie. And she couldn't believe that this kid came over and wanted to talk to her. And I wanted to interview her. And so a couple weeks later, we went to the television station that I worked for at the time. And we sat down and did an interview. I had my Bolt shirt with a lightning bolt in the middle from Disney. And it was great talking with her about Bolt and Curb Your Enthusiasm, a show that I was too young to watch at the time, but I did watch some of it anyway. And she said doing Bolt was one of the highlights of my life. Not only to get a new fan base of people like me, young moviegoers, but also, she said everybody wants to be a Disney character at some point, to voice a Disney animated character at some point in their life. It's an honor. It absolutely is. I remember asking her if she thought Bolt was going to get an Oscar nomination, and she said yes. She loved how the movie turned out. She loved hearing herself as the voice of Mittens the cat. It was a little weird at first, but she liked that very much. Bolt did get the Oscar nomination. In a year of only 3 Best Animated Feature nominees. It was Bolt, it was WALL-E, and it was Kung Fu Panda. Out of the 3, I like Kung Fu Panda a little more, but I love Bolt too. I have a sweet spot for Bolt. It's about television and obviously the Susie connection, and it's really smart and really well done. WALL-E, my least favorite of the 3, but it still makes some solid points and some gorgeous animation from Pixar, and Fred Willard being in it as well, so I have sentimental attachment there. And Kung Fu Panda is a fun movie. I think Kung Fu Panda is going to air on CMT this week for Thanksgiving. Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2. I saw the ad for that the other day. So yeah, just 3 nominees, but Bolt was able to do that, and it did all right at the box office and made some money over Thanksgiving, though it was only released 2 weeks after Madagascar Escape to Africa from DreamWorks, which opened bigger and made more money than Bolt did. rare in some respects for a DreamWorks movie to do better than a Disney movie, but it was the pre-Frozen days. In the pre-Frozen days, sometimes that did happen. But then Frozen shook up Disney animation for sure. And changed the game. It revitalized Disney animation. Even though they had great films that came out in the years before then, including Tangled and the animated Winnie the Pooh and Bolt and some of the other ones. I even think Chicken Little is fun. Frozen revamped Disney animation and put it back towards the top of respect that people have for the studio and money that these movies have made. But yeah, I've always thought about this. You make an animated movie, and then another one comes out 2 weeks later. So you're spending 4 to 5 years of your life on a movie that may play at its best for 14 days. Doesn't that sound crazy? That you spend 5 years on something for just a 14-day window? But that happened a lot pre-COVID. Some animated movies would come out, and then another one would come out the next weekend, or just 2 weeks after, or a week and a half, or something like that. And it always drive me crazy. Even in places like Australia, I remember they released Despicable Me 2 and Monsters University on the same day. It's crazy. That wouldn't happen here in America, but it's crazy that those things happen. People spend so much time, effort, work on something for years and years and years. And then you have direct competition or almost immediate competition. Unbelievable to me. I think maybe it'll be me. Maybe I'll write the book on animated movie releases and break all of that down because it's fascinating. It really is. So, that's where we're at. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy November 22nd. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Hope you can. Stay safe, positive, well. Give your family members a call or a Zoom call. I guess Zoom is unlimited for minutes on Thursday, which is very nice, so people can talk to their relatives from wherever in the world for as long as they want to. Stay well. Keep watching movies and TV shows. There's a lot happening, and we'll be back next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern for another episode of LCJ Live. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.